Crazy Horse 6. It is Friday, coming up on some Meteor Wars tonight and Buster Day this weekend. We'll drop a video on that tomorrow. I'm pretty excited about that. First thing I want to do today is just kind of address some of the comments from one of my previous Secret Tasks video. And I think there's a vocal minority of people who seem to have an excess of ore, and I don't think they have an excess ore problem. I think they have a Bluetooth bottleneck problem. And I think the main issue for this is a lot of players miss out on a lot of free upgrades because they aren't maximizing their honor points or participating fully in key events. So in this video, what I want to do is show you every single way to earn honor points, how to maximize them efficiently, and then we'll also run some math behind the ammo loot event to show you how to get those free mythic blueprints. And along with those mythics, there are 30 blueprints hanging out in the ammo loot event as well. And then finally, I'm going to run through my second squad to show how the game actually has the blueprints versus ore pretty well balanced, and why ore is actually your main bottleneck. So first off, this shouldn't be new to anybody who's been in the game for a while, but I just want to show the honor store here. This is where you're going to get your blueprints. You can see this is January 9th. This store has been up for 9 days and I've got 13 blueprints left. That is all I'm buying until I have bought out the store, and then I'm going to get my 2 free mythics with leftover honor points, and anything else will either be saved up for next month or we'll go into bond badges, because bond badges is also a pretty big boost to power. So let's take a look at all the different ways that you can get yourself over 200,000 honor points per month. That's 20 blueprints per month, and really just for participating. So first things first, Desert Storm. If you go to the rules, rewards, participation award alone, 5 to 10,000 honor points, depending on whether you are on the winning side or losing side. I'm using, for my calculator, 7,500 is just the average of those two. And then your individual rewards are based off of the number of points you get. And then notice it doesn't matter whether you're on the winning side or losing side when it comes to honor points. It's the same number of honor points regardless. So, and look, 200,000 points is not that hard to get in Desert Storm. That is garrisoning a building for 10 or 15 minutes, getting a few kills here and there. Like, I mean, we routinely have our lowest scoring players participating in Desert Storm scoring over 1 million points. Really just for showing up, wiping their drill grounds, and then leaving for a sub. That's how easy it is to get 200,000 points in Desert Storm. So look, that is, when you combine the participation, the individual awards, that is about 90,000 points per month. That's going to make up the bulk of where you're going to get your honor points. And look, I get it. This is a limited event. You can only have 60 out of your 100 people in your alliance are able to participate every week. And then sometimes rosters are pretty difficult for active alliances. But speaking for my very active alliance, we'd rather someone consistently show up, even if they're on the mid or lower end of the power spectrum, versus someone large who doesn't show up or is kind of fickle about it. So actively participate with your alliance, be a team player, and you'll be on the roster. If you consistently show up for your alliance and fully participate, but you never make the team, even after discussing it with your R4s, you probably need to find a better alliance, because there are some out there that are run by people who don't have the maturity or the foresight to want to see everyone in their alliance succeed, and they're playing favorites. So if you're caught in that situation, I'm sorry, go find a better alliance. Server transfers are also a good way to get on a server that believes in teamwork and camaraderie versus playing favorites. That's my little spiel there. The other piece, while we're right here, is we've got Winter Battlefield rewards for this. This is just a participation award, basically. Like, I know you have to win 3 times, but look, the game can be fun. This is why we play the game, right? And these are free troops. Go in there, play Winter Storm. If it takes you, 3 tries to win 3 times, that's great. If it takes you 10, you're getting better. You're getting practice at you know anticipating counters and setting your marches out in the fastest way, scouting people, checking battle reports quickly, and then knowing which squad to send at them. So this runs typically twice a week. I think it's Mondays and Saturdays. This is 10,000 honor points per event, so that's 20,000 per week, 80,000 per month. Really, just for showing up. That's a pretty significant source of honor points as well. Then if we go to the brawls, so I'm gonna go to 3v3 brawl first. We go to the rewards. I'm in the elite arena. It's a little bit different if you are in the mid tier, but just for elite, daily rewards are 700 points per day, just for 5 wins out of 30 attacks. That's pretty low. So that's 4,900 per week for free. And this either 3v3 or Storm is running all month long. If you're in the elite tier, even if you're at the bottom of the elite tier, I can't seem to scroll down. Minimum awards are 15,000 honor points. If you are, I'm sorry, I can't get to mid tier here on this one, just because this one's active and ongoing. But if we go to Storm Arena as an example, so elite tier ranking rewards 12,500. Your daily reward is again 700 per day. So that's another 4,900 per week. And Storm Arena only runs 1 week. In my calculations, I'm assuming 1 Storm Arena per month and 1.5 3v3 brawls per month, given they're on a 3-week cycle. You get the math. But if you even go to mid-level rankings, so mid-level rankings, your daily rewards are cut to 400, a little bit lower, but that is still 2,800 per month, assuming Storm Arena once per month, for free. And then your ranking rewards, even if you go all the way to the bottom, like you could almost not win a single match, and you're still getting 3,000 honor points per month. So that's 5,800 per month for Storm Arena, combining your participation and your final rewards. If you do well in the mid tier, then you're looking at least 8,000 honor points. I would say some people, and it depends on where you are and what your goals are, in order to get into the elite tier, you have to be in the top 200 total hero power in your server. I know some people who intentionally will try to keep their total hero power below the top 200 so that they can be at the top of the mid-tier rankings. And that's fine. If you do really well in mid-tier, it's probably better than being at the very bottom of the elite tier. That's up to you to kind of do the math and figure out where you want to play. Let's see. So I talked about Winter Storm already. So those are all the free ways. Actually, there's one more. There are SVS events. So you can actually see we're actually in the middle of a capital conquest right now. This happens more frequently in Season 0, but it happens a few times per season. Right now, we are doing the final conquest before we kick off Season 5. And so for my calculator, I only have this as a frequency of a half time per month. So once every 2 months, which I think is about right for the way the seasons run. It might actually be a little bit more frequent than that, but you can see these are easy points. I think this was like 4 or 5 people attacked my gathering squad, a mining tile, and this was 10,000 honor points. The last way you can get, so I'll say that's honor points. So just from those alone, when you calculate all that up, Desert Storm participation and your individual rewards, 3v3 Brawl participation and your final rewards, Storm Arena participation and your final rewards, Winter Storm participation and your capital event. And keep in mind, these are not all the highest levels. These are the bare minimums for a free-to-play player that is scraping by at the bottom end of all of these events, but is still getting the minimum number of awards they can get for each one. That's 206,750 honor points per month. So that's enough for 20 blueprints per month. If you are participating a little more highly, or if you're in the elite Storm Arena, like you're looking at an additional, 15,000 or 20,000 points, bringing up to 200. Let's say 230,000 points. So that's 23 blueprints per month that you're getting. The other piece for I'm going to call it free blueprints because you can do it for free, is the Bullseye Loot event. So this Bullseye Loot event gives you right here these chests. You get 5, 10, 20, 30 of these gear boost chests as you come up along the way to the mythics. So there's 30 blueprints plus your 10 mythics. And you're like, oh, how do you get this for free? Everything costs money. You get here in the Ammo Bonanza, you get 12 points absolutely free just by basically breathing every day, 5 days for the event. So that's 60 bullets per event. If you want to just buy the $5 pack, that is 10 bullets for the $5 pack, plus because you bought a pack in the store, that's an additional 6. That gives you 28 bullets per day. When you calculate all out, that would be 140 bullets per event. So in order to achieve the mythics, there's a range. Most people say it takes about 680 to 700 bullets to guarantee the mythics. I did it this event for the number of the beast, 666. I've seen as low as like 620, which is pretty good. But I would say if you can get to 680, you have a really good shot at getting maximum reward. So that's 30 blueprints and 10 mythic prints, plus more 260,000 ore, which comes in really handy, plus these 8 lucky ore chests, which is a minimum of 8,000 additional ore. And I think in this event, I think I got a couple that gave me like 2,000 or 3,000 each as well, for a little bit higher. So I want to say I probably got close to maybe like 270,000 ore in this event, which was very needed because, like I said, ore is actually way more important to me than anything else. So if you are completely free, not spending a dime, you can save up enough ammo that in about 11, almost 12 months, you can go through and go from start to finish, get all these awards. It doesn't help you if you don't save up the ammo. You can see I hit my 100 and I already have 17 saved up for the next event. If you're willing to pay just $5 a day, you cut that time down dramatically. So in that event, in that case, if you're paying $5 a day, in less than 5 months, you're gonna have enough bullets to maximize this event and get yourself an additional 30 blueprints. So that ends up being over 50 blueprints in that 1 month to upgrade gear, when you account for the 20 blueprints you're getting from the honor points before. So those are all the ways you're going to get honor points. Let's take a real quick look My missiles are already all maxed out on gear. I am working on my air squad, and I'll just roll through because I think a lot of people don't. Maybe they forget that there are interim upgrades to gear that you have to make before you can even use blueprints to add a diamond. So I'm actually being conservative here too. I know like this, for example, says it takes 20,000 for this first one. That requirement goes up each time, but I'm actually just for the sake of not having to upgrade each one and see what it is, I'm going to assume just 20,000. So this is going to take 80,000 ore to push Carly's gun just up to the point where I need blueprints to upgrade it more. Her chip, another 94.8 thousand ore. Lucy's gun, radar, waiting for mythics, data chip. Lucy's gun, that's going to take 50,000 ore before I'm even ready for blueprints. You can see where I've pushed a lot of these up already, just waiting. Skylar's armor, 110,000 ore before I'm ready for blueprints. Skylar's chip, 110,000 ore. And Morrison's chip, 110,000 ore before I can use blueprints to upgrade it further. So you total all that up on my second squad. That is 555,000 ore that I still need before I'm ready to push those any higher with blueprints. Assuming 53,760 ore that I'm making per day in my smelters, that's over 10 weeks of ore, like waiting. And in that 10 weeks, I have secured, 20 blueprints per month. So that's 50 blueprints that I've secured in that time. And look, as soon as I upgrade, let's say Skylar's armor, well, that'll be a mythic next. Let's, for example, I'm not going to do this, but let's say I've got, Lucy's gun, that'll be 5 blueprints. And then I'm going to need more ore behind that to take that up. So every time you unlock a new, this is a good example. So I can unlock this one with, there's going to be 20 blueprints for this. So 20 of those 50 blueprints will go to Carly's data chip. And then it's going to be 110,000 ore to get to the next blueprint bottleneck here. So just to show the math, even with me prioritizing getting as much ore as I can all the time, I still have a lot of requirements. I can still use my ore just for fun, even though my air squad is my priority here for gear upgrades. And you can see I still have 555,000 ore that I need to dump into my air to get it to my next blueprint bottleneck. You can't forget about my third squad as well. And my third squad could certainly use some gear upgrades as well. You can see most of these guys are all sitting on level 40 gear, and a lot of that level 40 gear is not fully upgraded. So you can see there's 80,000 that could be used for the next blueprint. There's 50,000 before the next blueprint. There's 48,000. I'm doing math in my head here. Hopefully I'm doing this right. There's another 50,000 before the next blueprint. So you can see none of my tank squads. So imagine, like, this is probably I'm getting kind of sick thinking about it. This is probably almost 2 million ore that I need to dump into my tank squad, all of these interim upgrades, before I'm even ready for blueprints on them. So you do not have a blueprint bottleneck. Nobody has blueprint bottlenecks if you are maximizing your participation rewards. You have an ore bottleneck. And the more ore you get, the faster you level your gear, and the stronger of a player you become.
Hell yeah!
And heads up, don't just make a bunch of content. Like, actually go and do something.
sure to like and subscribe, guys.